Yeah, it's going to be very short, sweet, simple, and it will be about neuron patterns, why they're important, why they function, why they even exist, really. So, to put it simply, a neuron pattern simply describes a pattern in which an amount of neurons fire. That's as simple as it possibly gets. And neurons are a specialized cell within your brain which communicate with other neurons. Now, in order for a neuron to fire, it has to reach a certain threshold of electrical impulses, which the axon hillcock, which is a very, I'm tired, fucking hell, and pretty much the ones that pass this threshold fire, creating a pattern. Now, this pattern is important because it allows you to create a representation of features of things. For example, in the occipital lobe's primary visual cortex, upon looking at a red apple, which is round and has the colour of red, a certain neural pattern will fire, allowing your brain to process that this apple possesses features such as it being red and being round. Now, these neuron patterns are combined with other ones simultaneously, such as ones which have been learned over time that apples are edible and they taste sweet. So once you recognize and look at an apple, for example, it will cause similar or associated neural patterns to also fire, because those patterns have been learned to be associated with the apple, such as you being able to eat it. So what happens when neuron patterns combine? I've kind of already said this, but when they combine, they create a huge neuron pattern or huge representation, but that's a different video on what representations are, allowing you to, in short, recognize an apple and be able to associate it with all of its learned qualities, like how it tastes, how you can hold it in one hand, how it grows on a tree, how it's a fruit, and most importantly, that it tastes good. That's as simple as it gets. And to point something that's quite complicated to understand out is that some neuron patterns overlap and use each other. Now, this might sound very confusing, but in reality it's not. So when I look at a banana and I look at an apple, they have different neuron patterns which allow me to recognize its red color, its round shape, and then be able to separate that from the banana's long shape and yellow color. However, they share a neuron pattern within how they are both fruits, which they both are, and which I both have learned, or have learned in general. Something along those lines. Okay, that was somewhat successful. Oh well, thank you for watching. Watch the next one. Thanks. Goodbye.